on last minute.
8 minutes we got left before we chat. Grab your coffee, find your seat. Cowbells are ringing, that's our cue. Gonna share our thoughts with you. Laugh and gossip, spit in tea. Little secrets between you and me. Countdown ticking, let's get real. Heart to heart, it's how we feel. Girl talks in 8 minutes time. Ring that bell, let's feel the rhyme. Share our dreams and tell our fears. Girl talks, wiping all those tears. Snap a pic of what we wear. Brush our hair, let down our care. Conversations never lie in this moment with you and I. Clock is ticking, here we go. Words like rivers start to flow. Tune your ears and hear the beat. Girl talks makes our time so sweet. Girl talks in 8 minutes time. Ring that bell, let's feel the rhyme. Share our dreams and tell our fears. Girl talks, wiping all our tears. Clock is ticking, here we go. Words like rivers start to flow. Tune your ears and hear the beat. Girl talks makes our time so sweet. Girl talks in 8 minutes time. Ring that bell, let's feel the rhyme. Share our dreams and tell our fears. Girl talks, wiping all our tears.
Morning, y'all. It's 5 minutes and 30 seconds before Girl Talk starts, so you have just enough time to grab yourself a cup of coffee and get in a comfy seat. We'll see you soon.
Catch Girl Talks every day. Follow socials, here's the way.
GURLTAUX, every platform come to play. Catch our vibe, don't delay.
Facebook, YouTube streams. Scrolling through your daily memes. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talk is all about. Keeping it real, it's what we do. So tune in now and join our crew. Lights moving through the screen. Click subscribe, don't be mean. Upbeat chatter, it's our routine. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GURLTAUX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere Girl Talks can be seen. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. Update stories, laugh and cry. It's Girl Talk, so don't question why. It's the show that you'll adore. Come back daily to get some more. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GURLTAUX is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere Girl Talks can be seen. Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. GURLTAUX, log in now, watch our show. Likes and comments, let them flow. Every day don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about.
Walking down this road tonight, talking about the things we fight. Addiction knocking at my door. E&T wants so much more. We walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, together we'll move along. Searching for a brighter day, holding tight along the way. Sobriety's a steep climb, D&T winning every time. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, D&T bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, D&T bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, D&T bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, D&T bringing all of you along.
Good.
Right about now. Hi.
Good
Hey,
morning. Where
morning.
am I looking? There's a new camera.
Uh,
Same camera?
the silver one.
Okay. There's a new camera. I don't know.
Changes.
Well, no, that one's been there.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
I'm a little slow.
I just don't know which one it is, and I haven't turned it on, so I was going to wait until Steve gets back again.
Yeah.
Again?
Again,
Yeah.
from so he's headed to Florida,
He's in Texas right now.
Texas. Okay, and then going to Florida.
Yeah, he's in Texas right now. I got a text this morning at like 6 something. We're up and at it. So
Do they have movers, or are they doing it all?
there's mover helpers coming at 10 o'clock this
Okay.
morning. So
Movers are worth every dime.
penny.
Yeah, they are.
I agree. I agree.
I am not young.
So-
I cannot move myself for pizza.
No,
They're
no.
So, speaking of that, I was talking to my mother-in-law about this. So, she is her and I are honestly a lot alike. It's kind of crazy. But, when it comes to moving and moving friends, and I mean, at my age, it's a little bit different story. But when I was younger, I had a truck. I always had a truck, and people would be like, "Hey, can you help me move?" I usually have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I'll come help you move.
Right.
I will tell you though, one of my biggest pet peeves when doing so, be straight with me about how you mean you want me to help you move. Do you mean you want me to help you pack because you haven't started?
You haven't started, yes.
Or do you
Or
want
am I
me to
just
help
moving
you?
boxes? Am
Yeah.
I
Or
unloading
do you- yeah.
boxes?
Do you want me to help you move, like physically
Yes.
carrying boxes, putting
Yes.
them out?
Am I unpacking things?
Yeah,
Like, I need you to tell me in detail, what are we doing?
Yeah, and if I show up there and you're like, no, just help me move, I'm expecting to come there with a stack of boxes,
Paper, tape, scissors,
everything
all of it.
done, everything ready to go. I'm loading it up and moving you where you're moving. If you want me to help you pack, you need to say, I need your help packing.
Packing.
And loading and moving.
Right. And there's no embarrassments or anything about that. I need help.
But just tell
Moving
me
sucks.
what you want me
Yeah,
to
just
do.
be honest
Yes.
with me.
Don't
and
tell me you'll be ready.
The last time I moved, I hired movers. But I had packed up all my boxes. Like, it was ready. They were to move furniture and boxes. You know, like, it was ready for them. But there was this one guy that I was like, he's just kind of useless. Like, the guy just kind of walked around, you know, and he would pick up, you know, like a box about, you know, just a box that weighed about as much
He's
as
like-
this does.
he's
Yeah.
like,
And
let me
like,
get
and I was
this
like,
for
that
you.
guy
Over
just,
here.
until it got down to, I call it the Jenga time. And that guy was the Jenga master.
He was the,
Oh, the Tetris
so
master?
he's probably the
Yes.
one that usually is in the truck
Hey,
and they're giving him stuff and, he's like,
"No, I
okay,
got
that
this."
goes
Well,
here, that goes here. Yeah.
they like he I didn't realize when they got down to the truck he was saying, okay, that goes in first. Like, he had like that.
He had a vision.
Yes,
knew
but
what
he
to-
didn't have to pick up anything because he had the
that
brain.
was
and
that
I-
was his job. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
yes,
was the
Tetris.
visionary.
Yes,
Well, Tetris guy.
Like
Yeah.
one of the last
but I
times.
was like, he is useless.
Yeah.
Not doing anything. What is your job?
Yeah.
Title,
Are you
like-
just here to observe?
Like,
Yeah.
if you're a
Are you
supervisor
learning?
too, or observer or whatever,
Well, you
yeah,
can
are
tell
you
he wasn't
learning?
the supervisor too. You know,
Right,
like you can
are
tell
you
which
learning?
one that was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Are you learning? Because just have a little name tag. Hi, I'm new here.
Yeah.
It's just boxes. They're not that hard.
Right. Yeah. They're all
is-
the same shape, just different sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not really, because usually I get them from the bar. They are all beer and liquor boxes, and they are all the same size.
Okay. Well, that makes it a lot
That
easier.
actually is easier stacking.
And those are the best boxes because they have handles.
Yeah, they
Yep.
do.
Yep.
And they
And
are
you can
made
only
for.
put so much in there, so they're not so overweight.
Yeah.
like
Right.
So when Steve and I were moving from Reno, he came in. There was a box that I was packing, and he comes in and he looks in it and he goes, and it was a fairly big size box, and he's like, "Can you put anything more in there?" And I
Sure,
was
could.
like, "I'm sure I can. It's not full." He's like, "Oh, well, why don't you put a brick in there?" So I did.
That's just me.
Well, technically it wasn't a brick. It's a piece of
No, it's mine.
of granite that
and
was my
rice.
door stopper.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, I put the brick in
A
there.
thing I do too when I move. and
rude?
The movers love me for this. Each room gets its own color duct tape.
Me too. Me too.
And then
That's
I go
awesome.
stick it on the door of where I'm moving to. So they know if it's got purple duct tape, it goes in the room with the purple dot.
Yep,
Right.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I do also an inventory. And there's if it's
I don't do an inventory.
If it's important stuff, like I literally will write on the box what exactly is in that box, or I write it out on a piece of paper and tape it to it. Because when I'm looking for X, I want to know what box they're in. So I'm
determined
very
everything
anal.
is going to be unpacked within 48 hours. So,
Oh, yeah.
so the inventory, I'm good, but I need it to be in the right
Well,
room.
the problem is when and it worked out really good that I did do that, because when we moved here,
Yours went out
remember
there.
we had no choice but to put everything in that warehouse.
Can I help you?
And we did have a couple people
What?
come over to help us,
Yeah.
but because we didn't hire
my
anybody,
coffee,
we should have. But we didn't know when we were even going to be able to move stuff in, so it was pretty hard to have, a hired team, because we didn't know when we were going to be allowed
you
to
know
do
when
anything.
you're going to be allowed to do it.
And I had set up like little areas in the shop, like put kitchen here, put
Yeah.
living room here, and it wasn't long after they started unloading that I walk in the shop out there, and it's just everything in a pile of stuff, and I'm just like, it's not.
I labeled it for a reason.
And I was like, okay, this is the moment to woosah and not bite people's heads off that are helping you out of the kindness of their heart.
Right.
You're not paying them. Don't be an asshole.
Oh, well, if you're not paying them,
Yeah.
then.
They just came to help us, and I'm like, if I was paying somebody, I'd have made them move it.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, you guys
That
need to
helps so much to just have it in the right
Can you figure out
room.
your spot, baby?
Like, so much I learned. Because, I mean, I've had some messy moves in my life. Some very messy.
Now I know, like, one of the times I went to somebody's house that asked me to help them move, I took my truck and my trailer over there, and it was a big deal for me to bring my trailer because I have a big giant 10,000-pound gutter machine. Well, I don't know how much it actually. I think it's like 2,000 pounds, but if you're trying to pick it up, it might as well be 10,000 pounds.
Yeah.
But I had to go underneath and unbolt it and use my hydraulic winch and lift it off the trailer and move it into my shop, and so that my trailer would be empty.
Yeah.
And I said, I only have so much time. Got to their house and walked in, and literally there's a few boxes in there.
I'm sorry. He's
Hang
being
on, I'm sorry. We got to interrupt for a
Cash
second.
is
He
being
is
a mess
doing
this
a lot right now. Sorry.
Cash, come on, dude.
I'm listening to you. I'm watching him. I'm sorry.
Come on. There you go. Here, Mama. Whoa, sorry. Ah, son of a biscuit.
He got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, go ahead. I'll get it from him.
I'm sorry. He's like,
Well,
nope.
he can play with it if it's
Well,
not.
he'll eat it.
I don't want to clean it up. When,
Oh, okay.
here.
He's
Can I have that?
he's like, no, you can't have. No.
Can I have that?
It's-
Yeah, sucker. Hey, that's mine. No, lay off. Goodbye. No.
Oh, is
You're-
it your paper that you?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
well, no, that's the paper towel, but he really wants this.
Oh, he was really wanting that.
And then he keeps trying to drink my coffee. This is mine and I need it. I'm so
Cash,
sorry.
dude. Get your own microphone.
Get your own mic. Get your own spot. You have your own spot.
See, I can
Yes,
say
you're
mom.
so
I can
sweet,
say
baby.
mama.
Yes, you can.
This is turned into
Come
the
here.
cash show.
It has
Mama?
turned into the cash show today.
Mama.
Oh, so
Mama,
wait,
mama.
Are you
Mama.
being like a cash cow?
we didn't even start on topic. So,
No, we didn't.
we
We,
didn't.
just
But I am going to finish this.
you finish
one.
it and
It's
then
on
we'll
my
do
head.
introductions because we just kind of started in the middle of the conversation.
Yeah, we did. So I went to their house, took the time out, took my gutter machine off my trailer, which is a big fucking pain in the ass.
big
Get
deal.
to their house and they
Stuff.
have a few boxes. And when I mean they have a few boxes, they might have had 5 boxes.
Oh.
Nothing was packed. Not a single thing. They didn't have tape. They
They
didn't
had
have
5
scissors.
boxes,
They
or
didn't
they
even-
that's all they had, or that's all
That's
they.
all they had. They
And
were
they are
about to
packing a
run
whole
to the
house.
grocery store
No.
to see if they could find
I
boxes.
spent a whole month.
And
packing
I was like,
before I'm gonna move.
I was like, did you
That's
guys not know
so
you were
annoying.
moving? I said, I've known you were moving.
Right.
And I had given them some boxes. I
Right.
think the ones they had were the ones I gave them from materials that I got. And I said, I run a business. I only have so many hours spare to do this. So I'm going to leave. I'm going
You
back
let me
to my
know when
shop.
you're ready to
I'm going to put my
move.
gutter machine back on. And you aren't going to
What's
be
a gutter
ready.
machine?
Oh, so when people run seamless gutters on their house,
Oh, okay.
it's the machine that runs out the gutter. So I can run
I was like, I don't know what she's talking about.
I can run gutters that are, as long as needed,
Okay,
seamless.
That's good.
So I'm like, I'm going back to work. Call me in 2 days when you're packed because I'm not
Call me next week. We're not playing this game.
I'm not packing, and I'm really anal about my packing. Like everything has the boxes get labels. I even did this new thing. This makes me like literally should go into an asylum. But my new thing, this last move, was my itinerary, my inventory that I put on my boxes was by QR code.
Oh, gee.
that.
Girl, you need to stop.
I don't have time for that.
I only did that on important stuff. I did not do that on everything.
All right, Sheldon, you
mine
need
is
to
just
quit.
full
Yeah,
on the color duct tape of that room. Like that's the extent of mine.
So the whole point of this is that Steve got back, got the trailer lights all hooked up on Saturday night, finally done, came in and helped me move a few heavy things in so that like my Santa and Mrs. Claus, so I can get them put. Oh my God, that's been a pain in the ass. And
Hey, you're the one that has the life-size Santas.
yeah, true. And
Did you give him caffeine this morning? Sugar? Something?
and of course he
I have a
would,
napkin in my hand, and he thinks he needs it.
and of course he was like, I feel so bad. Like I need to. He's doing dishes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Don't
why,
do dishes.
I'm like, don't. Why are
That's
you?
not
doing-
what I need you for.
I'm like, you don't need. He's like, but I'm leaving you with so much to do. I'm like, what I need you to do is put that bed frame thing together in the guest room because I'm going to have a hard time with my hands don't work real well. So I need you to snap that together so it's not going to fall down if somebody lays on it.
Yeah. I need you to do the heavy
I need you to
heavy
do the
things.
big heavy things. Get those boxes in here for me so that they're not difficult, and get all the boxes
on.
that were in the guest room out on the porch. That's all new Christmas stuff. And he's like, but I haven't even finished the front. I'm like,
I don't care.
you'll be back before at Christmas. So it'll be
It'll
really
happen.
late
Knock it
this
off.
year.
Yeah.
So this is into our topic. It's, last minute preparations, decorating.
Yes.
That we're now into, and I'm still doing the decorating. I pretty much have my kitchen and dining area, other than some silverware on the second table. But we have 13 people coming, so I got to make sure that
That
there's
stresses me.
places
Wait a minute. You're going to have 13 extra people in your house?
That stresses me.
Well,
That
not
would
extra, but
13 total?
13 total.
That would never happen in my life. Nope. My anxiety would put me in a hospital, in a padded room,
Yeah.
on all the medicines.
No, I mean,
you got 3 boys. If all 3 of your boys are married and got kids, you
Yeah.
might want to prepare yourself for this.
yeah. At some
I'm gonna
Because
just-
so let's
just
say
gonna buy the house
if
next door
Nana
to me.
and your brother and you and your husband and the 3 boys, so that is 7.
7 already.
So then we're adding 3 wives, so that's 10.
that's 10.
And then 2 kids apiece.
I'm just going to buy the house next door and they can all stay there. I'll win the lottery. I'll do that.
I am not kidding you. The house next door, that little white house on the corner.
Yeah.
Minute that guy goes up for sale, we want to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the minute it goes up for sale.
Yep, that's a guest house.
I want to buy it so we can have a guest house.
That is happening.
Because
100%.
it would be
I'm winning
nice
the
to
lottery.
have
We have to go
a
play
whole separate house for people.
That's my problem with winning the lottery. I need to play it.
I know.
I
in order
say
to
that
win
all
it.
the time when people are like, "Hey, are you? It'd be cool to win the lottery." I'm like, I have to play to win. I don't
do that.
I don't
Not that
waste
I
my.
wouldn't. But
I just
it's-
feel like it's such a waste of money. I mean, sure,
too.
if you happen to win, great. But how much have you spent over the years and never won?
My gramps every week would go out and get the scratchers.
I don't think it's anything. I think it's fun.
It's a thing he would do.
Yeah.
Well, for some people, if they like it and it is fun,
I was talking about, my friend that passed away owned a bar, and they had the lottery there, and they go through what they call lottery hell. When it's up really, really high, you can go to that bar. They have really good food. I mean, they have great food at that bar, actually. You can sit there, play scratch-offs, drink some beer, do some scratch-offs, and leave with your lottery tickets. And when the lottery is really high, that bar
Is
is
packed.
packed.
Yeah. So you're getting all the food business, the liquor business.
Yes.
Now, where's
like
their bar at?
in Ardmore?
Okay.
I have actually worked there during Lottery Hell and
Shout out to, what's the name of their bar?
Valley Tavern.
Shout out to Valley Tavern.
I've actually not an employee.
If you are looking for a good place to get some drinks and some good
just
food,
beer. They
well,
don't have alcohol.
Beer.
Yeah.
But beer is great with your food.
Yes. But like I said, the food's great. But we, like not working there, sitting there as a patron, and I've gotten up and washed dishes because they couldn't.
Well, you're
one of her
well, you're
friends-
kind of like
You're like
you're in a
family
different
time.
you're in a different animal space
Yeah.
when you're that close with the
Yes.
That's
bar
true.
owner.
I've done that.
I have waitress before, like
Yeah, you just hop up and start working. Like,
yeah.
So my
I've done
dad,
that with chain restaurants
there, yeah.
just because we go there so much.
There's a diner called Ernie's in Lake Tahoe. Ironically, it's now named Bert's. And
That's funny.
and Ernie is now across the street, so it's Bert and Ernie's.
Sorry, that was really loud.
It's super funny.
That was so loud. I'm so sorry.
They were brothers, I believe, that owned the place. And then something happened and they had a rival over it. So Bert took over, and I'm saying the parents must, I don't know if their names were actually Bert and Ernie. I think they were though. But I think that was their parents either really watched Sesame Street or the boy, or something.
Or it was just a fluke.
Or it was just a fluke because
Yeah.
they were old, like way older than
Right.
they're probably way older than my dad was.
Uh-huh.
So they could have been just that it was a fluke
Fluke.
that they were named that, and then the show came out, or maybe the show was named after them. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows? But anyway, Ernie's and Tahoe is a resort place. So there's tons and tons of people, and my dad would walk in there, see that it was really busy. He'd go behind the counter, get his coffee cup, fill his coffee, go sit down. If he would look, he was such a funny guy. He would look around and he'd see that table over there is out of coffee because they keep moving their coffee cup over here, and he'd go back. Get the coffee cup,
go
walk
fill it.
over, fill their coffee cups, and fill his own, and walk back, set it down, and go sit down. And these people would be looking at my dad like, because most of them are tourists.
Yeah, so they
And there's the few that come in there that were locals and regulars, and they knew each other and stuff. But
Yeah.
these tourists would look at him like, dude, like, my dad owns a shop, so you can see there's grease on
on
him.
his hand. Yeah.
He's not like homeless dirty, but he's dirty. He's
like
got
work dirty.
he washes his hands and stuff.
But there's still.
But you can still see the grease on his hands and stuff, and
Yeah.
it was super funny. And then the girls would come by and tease him and stuff. It was pretty funny. In fact, one of them came up one day. Well, actually, this happened all the time. I guess it wasn't one day, but my dad never got a menu, and he never got to order, ever. The girls would just walk up and say, "Vic, you're having this,"
And bring it to
They
him.
would decide what he was eating.
Hey, you know what?
One of Charlene's favorite stories about me was during Lottery Hell. And they would buy these like big, like 20-pound, I don't know, huge boxes of bacon, right? Like they're like this big box of bacon. And she was like, "Hey, do you think you can help the cook out and go back there?" And she said, "Separate the bacon." And I was like, "Sure." Separate the bacon to me means piece by piece, right? Well, you got to think about this box of bacon is this big.
Right.
So I've been back there
Their
a good
big thing of bacon is not ours from the grocery store with 8
like,
pieces.
I've been back there a good 45 minutes or so, and Charlene comes back there and she went, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm just separating this bacon." She died laughing. She was like, "What are you doing? You were only supposed to just break off I was supposed to be breaking off like little pieces of bacon about like this and putting it in these little, that would fit in the individual container. And then it thawed enough to where they could cook it. I'm taking it piece by piece." And
You were not specific.
she
You
was
were not
not specific.
specific.
That's what I
Yeah.
told her. I said, "I am Rachel's daughter. When you say separate, that means piece by piece."
And I don't work here on a regular basis, so you need to be a little
She
more
would tell that
specific with me.
story and laugh. And I was like, I was doing what I was told.
Yeah.
In my defense.
I'm
She
following
was like, "You were still going to be there in 3 days." I was like, I had thought
I'm
about
following
that.
the directions.
You know what? You told me to separate it, so I separated it.
I'm following the directions that I was given. Separate the bacon.
No
So I
one
am
told me to break
separating
it
the
into
bacon.
hunks that fit in these containers. Y'all just gave me the containers and the bacon.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing anyway. Well, so Steve is, sick, so he's taking medicine, and then he did get the big boxes in for me and stuff, and I got a lot of stuff done this weekend, and started putting my big Santa together. I swear he must be like 8 feet tall. That thing is so big.
Your big Santa.
Yeah, so
Your husband's not that tall. He's tall. He's just not that tall.
no, but so I'm trying to put this mannequin together, and you're trying to hold the mannequin so it's one leg and the torso,
Yeah.
and then you got to put the other leg on, and it pops in and screws on, and then the arms you have to have them at a
Does
certain
it pop
angle.
or does it
do-
screw?
Well, the leg
I'm glad
screws.
my mind wasn't the only one that went in the gutter.
The legs.
Oh no, my mind is constantly in the gutter.
I was
girl.
like, Greta.
Yeah, mine is too.
Greta. I just kind of got onto myself in my head.
Oh no, I'm
that-
not quiet. We know this. I'm not quiet about
The
anything.
leg screws on, the hips rotate into place, or the
Yeah,
the,
they do.
the torso
Yes, they
rotates
do.
into place. Yeah, okay. It's a little Santa action going on. But then the arms have to be at a certain angle,
Santa baby.
and they go into like this little specific hole, and it pops down, and then you have to rotate it, but it has to be at the exact right angle. But you have to do it with the arm in the sleeve, because there's no way you're getting that.
Like a condom.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds like one of my animatronics. Like you gotta
Yeah,
do the same thing. You gotta get her arm on, but you gotta do it while it's in the sleeve because if
Because
you don't,
there's
then
no
can't-
way you're gonna
can't
get
the
this-
sleeve
yeah.
on, and then she's got these because she's like a creepy witch baby doll face lady thing. So her hands, I mean, the nails come out, or her hands and fingers come out to like here. So, but it's like all bony because she's a skeleton witch. So trying to get that through the shirt is catching, and I'm like,
That's enough, right? And then and of course I was like, why did we take we didn't take the Santa cover off, the shirt part.
Yeah.
That wasn't taken off. It was on, and he's got the snow stuffing stuff is all glued to him to make him fat, and so I'm trying not to rip all that shit off.
Yeah,
and
don't
put
rip
him
off his
on.
fat. That hurts.
And if you, I'm not sure if you noticed, but my husband hung, and this was the week before he went, the couple days before he went to Salt Lake City, he hung the new fan light in the living room.
oh, I didn't even look.
Because the fan that we had in there, every time I turned around, I'm like, we don't have a light in here other than the one on the side. I'm like, we need that. So he went and got it and put that in. Well, it's a very nice decorative one. My mom had it before, so I was like, that's nice.
We're not going to throw that away. We're just going to use it. Yeah.
But Santa's like so tall that
Does he
trying
hit
to
the
put his
light?
arm, and his arm has to be basically straight up and down, click in place, and then rotate it, and it clicks when it's in. But he's so tall, it kept hitting the fan.
Yeah, I bet.
And I have very weak arms and hands, and I'm trying to hold this thing. I did go lock up Jethro because he gets freaking out when you're doing something that he thinks is dangerous.
And he can't stop you from doing it.
Yeah, and he barks. He lunges at me. He I get worried that he's gonna bite me or something. But it also causes them to get into a dog fight.
Yep.
Because then she thinks he's doing something to me. So I just am.
She's super protective of you.
She's super protective of me. So
She's your service dog, so of course she is.
I preamble. I know that he's going to have a reaction to this, so he gets locked out before we start
absolutely,
something.
yeah.
Anything that
If you know it's going to happen, you know it's going to happen. It happens every time.
Well, and I think the thing is I was talking to Steve about this the other day, and I called his grandma. That's what we call Andrea. She has his parents. And so I said, I'm going to send you to your grandma's, and she's going to take care of you. So I called her and I said, what can I do? That's what the chamomile is for. She said, if you put chamomile
Okay.
rub it in their ears, it will calm them.
Okay.
And if
I
you
will
have
get-
an overly hyper
I will
dog,
get you some. In the meantime, just get some tea
okay, chamomile tea.
and just wet the bag.
Okay.
That's probably going to be your
That'll help
purest,
at least a
your
little
purest
bit?
form until I get it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because it'll be of course after Christmas before I place an order. Usually end of the month.
Okay.
So
okay. But she said use that. It actually will calm a dog. It's natural. It's healthy.
you know what? I
It won't
do
hurt
have
them.
I diffused it for him for a while when I was doing my Reiki treatment or appointments because he freaks out because his eyes aren't on me because
And a stranger's around.
Yeah,
Even if they know.
and it didn't work, but it is a dog specific essential oil
Okay.
for anxiety and stress.
Calming.
So I'll bring you that.
Okay.
Because I don't ever use it anyway.
If it works, great.
Yeah.
You know.
and you can put it directly on you can diffuse it or you can put it directly on the dog. It
Yeah,
is
and
safe.
she said right inside their ears where it's that soft tissue or whatever. She's like, you just rub it inside their ears and
and I need to bring you tattoo balm.
it won't you know, we don't know because we've never used anything on we've given them some Benadryl a few times.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't want to give my dog Benadryl.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
What's the essential oil for calming teenage kids? It's chloroform, isn't it?
I think it's
It's
chloroform.
chloroform.
Yeah.
They have
There's one
right.
called
And you
Peace
don't-
Calming.
You don't
Is it
rub it. You
chloroform?
don't rub it on their ears.
You just stuff it on their
You
face.
put it on a towel and you have
Peace
them
and
smell
calming.
it.
Peace and calm. Is that the chloroform? I need some of that.
No, I think that's called Dead Quicker.
Dead quicker. I like that. So, needless to say, as you can see in my living room, I have a big giant Santa standing there with a belt strapped around both his arms. I'm like, that's how we do it in this house. We lock Santa up.
Lock him up.
Yeah. So,
Lock him up.
I
like-
mean, our little murder bloody. She probably likes that. Like,
She's like, oh, we got
Yeah.
Santa's.
Yeah.
Santa's ready for play action now.
He's ready to play.
He's strapped down. In fact, I was on my phone yesterday.
Belts work in a pinch.
Yeah, and a ad came up for a Santa coloring. You know those things you can color on your phone, but it was like creepy Santas. It was skeleton Santas
Creepsmas.
and no, it wasn't called that. It was just
Oh.
something.
he
I don't
is
remember
missing
what
Alicia,
it was called.
y'all. Have you
Yes.
seen how
He is.
he is
He hates when she's
sniffing
gone.
and
Alicia, your dog is missing you.
he's smelling the pillow she sits on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna send her a picture.
Aw. Anyway, sorry.
He is missing his Alicia.
He is.
And I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Alicia. We hope you feel better. But anyway, this has been a journey this year getting the things decorated, and I've been having a really hard time with this
But we do,
season. This
Yeah.
year, and a lot of
I said
thoughts
that-
about my dad too this year.
I said this, this weekend in our texts and stuff, I said, talking about grief, and the holidays do make it harder.
Mm-hmm.
We're making changes to some of our traditions, and it goes really back to my brother, and we lost him in 2019.
yeah, my dad passed away in 2018.
and we've tried to function the same, but finally realizing it's not good for some of us.
Right,
So,
yeah. Well, I did write a little song about, that. And I did feel like it helped. Did you guys listen to it at all?
Sorry, I have not been mentally able to.
I didn't think you
I was
could
afraid
right
it was
now.
sad, and I was like, I mentally I can't do that.
Well,
right
it-
now.
I listened to a little bit of it. I could not finish.
Yeah, it's pretty tear jerking.
Yeah.
But it's what helps me when I write and turn my stuff into music, because it's usually more poetic the way that I write. But anyway,
Like I
Yeah.
said, my mental capacity has been at none
I
this
was gonna say
weekend,
you had quite a weekend.
yeah.
did
Quite
you
a
send that picture to
emotional-
Alicia?
I did.
Okay.
I sent it over the group.
Cool.
Yeah.
It was one of those things I thought I was prepared for it, but I really wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I think you can prepare yourself and say, you know, it's coming. You know, you're prepared for it. But at the same time, it never is going to make it easier.
Right.
No. Right.
By any means. Nothing ever makes it easier. Oh, that's cute.
I mean, it was just, you know, little.
But nothing ever makes it
No.
easier.
And you know, and like I said, you know, the holidays it does. It intensifies that grief, I feel like. You know, like her son come in Saturday when I did get to go visit. And you know, with all of this going on, the son has not even been able to do any of his Christmas shopping.
No.
Yeah.
You know, like him and his wife, they've got Raylan's probably 9 now, maybe a little older. I don't know how old Raylan is, but you know, a child that still believes in Santa, you know, and they haven't done any of that.
Well, and the thing is when someone passes away so close to Christmas, it does make it. Now, my dad's birthday is December 12th, so his birthday's close to Christmas, and my brother's birthday is Christmas Eve.
Okay.
My cousin's birthday is on Christmas.
Is it?
Jimmy Buffett was born on Christmas Day.
I mean, he's fine though. I mean,
I gotta bring Jimmy
my
Buffett.
cousin, he's fine. We were just talking about birthdays.
Yeah, I got to bring Jimmy Buffett into the conversation somewhere.
You always do.
His birthday was Christmas Day.
It's almost like
you always have to.
obsessed or love him.
I'm telling y'all, we had a connection in another life. We did.
Somewhere, some way.
Missed
I don't know that like we were in love or anything, but we were family or we were friends or there was something in another
There's
life.
something because
Well, you know, we have those things, those people that we.
And it's like it's not even like that I thought he was hot or would have dated
Just felt
him or
close to him.
Yeah, he comforted me.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm assuming probably a family member.
maybe. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So it does make the holidays a little tougher sometimes.
It does.
But I'm imagining this is going to be really difficult for her family because it is so close to Christmas. So the anniversary is going to always be so close to
And
Christmas.
she was a big Christmas person. Like she loved buying presents and everything. The karaoke microphone that I said that she bought me, that was a Christmas present for me. And everybody was like, why did you do that? And she was like, because Greta needs one.
and she went of her own choosing.
Yes.
Rather than being on a feeding tube and other
and
things.
a trach.
And my dad was the same way. My dad had a stroke and it shut off the brain connection to swallowing. So the only thing he could do was have a feeding tube, and he said, "No, I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I don't want to do this." So, you know, and you respect their wishes, but it does make it harder. And I think for anyone out there, you can be prepared all you want. We've had several talks about that stuff, and you can be prepared all you want, and it doesn't make it easier.
I mean, and different things are going to happen. You know that.
And like I said, my dad. Yeah. Right. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I do that. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
My dad was sick for a full year, and we knew it was coming. We knew it was going to happen. We knew it was
Steve's dad too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we knew he was not going to make it. We
now,
were hoping
what did your dad have?
pancreatic cancer.
Steve's dad.
Yeah, and that's one of those things like you don't know you have it until it's way too late.
Yeah.
You can't catch that. I mean, you can, but it's very rare to catch it. Very rare to catch it.
Yeah.
It's one of those symptoms, the silent symptoms.
Yeah.
Well, this was his dad's third bout with cancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it was pretty hard. But I mean, you can tell yourself you can be prepared all you want. And then when it comes, I think the hardest death I've ever had was Kristen because of the situation behind it. Because to me, in my brain, it's like that was preventable. You know, cancer's not really preventable.
Right. No.
A car accident is preventable, but
to a point.
not if it's an accident. That's why they're
Right.
called accidents.
Accidents, yes.
If they're hit by somebody else, or even hit someone themselves, when it comes to drugs and alcohol, that's where I go like, well, that could
That
have
is
been
not
preventable.
an accident, and that could have been prevented.
The
But-
hardest I think I had was it wasn't it was the people, it wasn't the people, but we buried Jay on a Saturday, and 1 week later I lost Mark on that Saturday. And
Right,
they
you
were
said that.
just
like
too
a week
close.
apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
about a week and a half, 2 weeks apart, but a week from the burial to
Right.
Like, and it was just that those were my people. I've said those were my if I killed someone, because you always had that joke of if I
Are we
killed
taking your
someone-
car or mine?
Yeah, who would you call? I would have called
I'll
Mark
bring the
first,
shovel.
and me and Mark
Yeah.
would have went to Jay's farm to dispose of the body. Like
What is
those,
it? I need
those
your
are my
help.
people.
I can't tell you what it is or where we're going.
Yeah.
But I need your help. Whose car are we taking?
Whose car are we
Can we
taking?
stop and eat?
You can stop first. I need food. If we're going anywhere, I need food. I need food first.
Give me something to eat and I'll grab my shovel.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of a funny. I mean, it's not funny.
We need funny.
It's a death story.
Okay, but
that-
funny. Death
Oh, I
story.
have a funny death story too.
Okay, it's-
You tell yours
Right.
first.
So my dad passed August 12th. And my mom called and I was heading down there anyways to see him, but she had called me the morning I was leaving and said he passed, just take your time, whatever. And then she didn't expect, I said, all right, let me get the boys ready and then we'll be down there. And she didn't think we were coming until, a few days later or whatever to get him. No, we packed up and left. Everybody. We all did. I mean, I was like, we need to go down there. Nana needs us. My brother was there with her, so that was good. But the funny part is that it's not funny. It's not funny. But my grandma was like 98 and she was, old and sick and she had her problems and she I'm not saying it's a reason, I'm not saying it's an excuse, I'm not saying anything else. She's very narcissistic. She was extremely narcissistic. My mother's whole life, very mentally abusive, very narcissistic. So, I mean, I'm not saying I never loved her, but I'm getting off track. She's a problem child. She was a problem child. So she had passed 3 days later, and my mom goes, it's kind of good that she passed so close because now I can grieve everybody at the same time. And she goes, you know what? I'm honestly thinking that when your dad passed, he turned around from wherever he went and said, you're done making her life hell and you're coming with me.
That is
That's
funny.
good. That is funny.
See, it's
That is
funny.
good.
When you look
Yeah.
at it from a different
So-
perspective, things
Right.
can be funny.
Yeah, my mom said that, and I was like, you know what? I bet you're right because she was a pain in the ass. I love
Yeah.
my grandma, but you know what? Pain in the ass.
Dad knew you couldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it's sad and it's a sad story, but my dad was like, "Psh, "You're done. Let's go. You're coming with me."
When my grandfather,
Let's go.
When my grandfather passed away, he every morning.
Thanks, Dad.
Highway 53 in Ardmore is a 2-lane. Ardmore going to Huntsville, 2-lane road. It's now 4-lane part of it, but it's still 2-lane in Ardmore. And my grandfather would go out at 6 o'clock every morning, and at 7:15, when everybody was trying to go to work to Huntsville, my grandfather would be on that road going back home at 45 miles an hour. Everybody in Ardmore cussed my grandfather. And they would say to me, Greta, can you make your granddaddy go home 20 minutes later than what he does? And I'm like, nope, that is his schedule. That is what he does.
Yeah.
And we were after
He's
the
set in his ways, and I can't change. Nobody can
after the
change
funeral,
it.
we were all back at my grandparents' house, and my cousin Gina said, I looked at David when we were in the procession, whatever, going over
Yeah.
to the graveyard, and you go down Highway 53. And she said, I looked at David, which is her husband. She said, and I said, this is the last time Papa Pud's going to hold up traffic on Highway 53. And it made all of us laugh so hard.
You have to have those moments because
Yeah.
life does go on, but there are some funny things
Yeah.
inside of death
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Yes.
And like
You just got to find them.
so Nurse Hadley is the one that I've watched on TikTok. I've now read her book. She is hilarious, but she's also like she talks about
I have another funny when you're
it's
done.
not a coincidence and it's not weird things that happen when it happens with, she's a hospice nurse. She's like, so when all of these patients have a family member or somebody come that's gone already, been dead for a long time, and they're like, I'm having lunch with my wife. Okay, what's she making? You know, the sudden getting up and going and doing things when they haven't been out of bed in weeks.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're up and they're, you know.
Typically, they have a really good
That-
day
Is
before
she,
they.
she got long hair?
Let's see.
I was going to say, find me a pic, because I think I know who you're talking about.
So her TikToks are, she does two sides.
Yeah.
One, she's pretending to be the patient. The other one is
Yes,
being
I
the
think
nurse.
I know who you're talking
and,
about. She said she calls
I'm
the
not
son as
handling this well. What's going on? It's just hard to watch her mom get so sick. She's so confused now. She keeps telling me happy birthday. My birthday's not for another week. Okay, do you want to come with me to go see her? Hey, well, there's my favorite nurse and my birthday girl.
So
yeah.
I'm only going to play that little, and you could hear it. You couldn't see it because I didn't
Right.
share screen.
But
her stuff is so great.
yeah, I've seen one where she calls her son and says,
You need to come.
yeah, like your son, your dad says that your mom's here and it's time to go home. So like you need to come.
So you need to come.
Yeah.
It's time for you to get here.
Yeah.
So I really like her. I found her on TikTok. I started watching her stuff. Then I found out she had a book. So I read the book. I lied. I didn't read the book. I listened to the book.
Yeah.
But she read the book in her own voice
Okay.
and told lots of stories. And to be honest with you, it was the best thing that helped me with my dad's death and with the unexplainable things that happened. So when my dad passed away,
God gives us those things for a reason.
this is my funny story. When my dad passed away, you have to know my dad too. My dad was a huge jokester. My dad should have been a comedian. He was so funny, and the things he would do and say were hilarious. And he hated to see people cry or upset. He didn't handle it well.
Yeah.
So anytime that something was bothersome, he would tell a joke or he would say something to make you laugh. Like, I think I told that story about when my husband and I were not happy with each other for the moment. We went in and he's like, so when Vicky and I are in a bad state and she's getting mad at him, don't say anything. And he finally blurts it out. I just turn around and go, is now a bad time for a blowjob? And this is, he's at that time he was in his 70s.
Sounds like something my husband would say.
And when you're his kid, you're just like, oh my God, really, Dad?
Ew, Dad. Gross.
And my dad was that jokester kind of person. He was a funny guy. And he was also a race car driver, 7-time world record holding race car driver. And so he had his stroke. He decided, I want to go home. I want to I want to go home and be at home. I don't want to be on a feeding tube. I don't want to do anything else. I want to be home. And so he did. And I pretty much moved into the house and stayed with them. And he was getting closer and closer to that time. Family, friends, all that have come. And that particular night, everyone was there. My brother, his wife, kids, my aunt, uncle, my mom had been there. My other uncle had been there. Lots of people had come to say their goodbyes, all that. And I was the one doing his meds and writing stuff down and taking care of stuff for the nurse when the nurse wasn't there. She kind of, I had the skills, so she had me doing that, which was good for me because it gave me something to do. And then it got down to
and
that.
Then it was good for her because then she knew that he was interested in hands.
Yeah, exactly. And if we need you, I'll call.
Right.
So it got down to that time, and I could see his breathing was getting way more shallowed. His timing was getting down to the wire, and everyone comes over. Everyone's holding him somewhere, holding hands, whatnot.
Touching his arm, something, yeah.
Yeah, and then so he quietly just stops breathing, and I write the time down, and I wait, and then I do another pulse check, and I get my stethoscopes, and I'm listening, nothing, and I'm like, okay, he's gone. It's okay. And he comes back to life, and he starts breathing again, and his pulse comes back
He's like, just kidding.
strongly. And
Fooled you guys.
and you have to understand our family too. So there's a lot of jokesters.
Yeah.
And it was like a good 3 minutes before he started breathing again. And I knew this could happen, and I explained it to people. I'm like, it can happen.
Yeah.
And of course, my uncle says, "Was that a false start?" Because my dad's
He was
racing.
a racer.
That's funny.
And so we're all cracking jokes, and we're all talking about, yeah, he was up there and he was like, oh shit, I went too soon. False start, got to start again. So
Go back, try again.
we're waiting and waiting, and he had a nice, strong, steady heart rate, and breathing was shallow, but there for an hour, and exactly an hour on the dot.
That's so weird.
I mean, on the dot, it happened again. Now, my stepmom was over in the kitchen, and I had decided at this time I'm looking at my brother, and now I'm not saying anything. I'm just like, okay,
Just gonna let it be quiet.
just gonna let it be quiet. And 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes. I'm like, okay, he's gone. It's been almost 6 minutes now. He's gone.
Another one.
And I'm like, Vicky, he's gone. And she comes over, and he starts breathing again.
Stop
and
doing
he
that.
starts having his pulse. And she's like, all right, Victor, this is not funny anymore. And of course,
Knock it off.
and I missed a part. On the first time when we were all cracking jokes, she's like, this is not funny, you guys. This is my husband. Like, I don't appreciate you cracking jokes right now. And I'm like, well, he would.
Yeah, this is what he would do.
He would be the one cracking the
Going by
jokes.
What he would do.
And so at that almost 6 minute mark, and I had called the nurse, and I said, I know this can happen. She's like, usually not after 3.5 minutes, but okay. She's like, are you sure? I said, yeah. I said, literally, I wrote down the time, and I waited, and I didn't check his pulse and stuff until it had been after 3 minutes. And now people have come back from the dead after 5 minutes. So usually they're being resuscitated by someone, but okay.
But yeah.
So the second time when she's like, Victor, this is not
There was
funny.
something at that door when that light, and he was like, not who I want to see right here.
Yeah.
Not who I
No,
want to
no,
see.
no.
Try again.
Well, and
I'm gonna go to a different door.
Yeah.
and of course we
No.
are still doing the thing with, you know, he goes up there and he's like, hey God, you like a good joke? And he's like, yeah, I do. Watch this. And does it a second
Check
time.
it out.
So when she yells at him, Victor, this is not funny.
Knock it
Stop
off.
doing this. And then he stayed nice and steady. Everyone left. All the kids, aunts, everybody left. And the only ones that were left there after that point were my stepmom and my brother and I. And it wasn't until I think that time, it was like 6 or 7 hours later is when I called my brother.
You're like, all right, I can finally say it.
I
now.
said, I'm sure,
pretty sure
because his
now.
shallowness is really, really, really there. And it was just the three of us sitting with him, holding hands. And then he didn't go the same way as he went before. He went just super, super peacefully and quiet. And I'm like, Well, that goes to show he didn't want everybody there.
Yeah.
He just wanted the three of us
Just
there.
a few.
He wanted his 2 kids and his wife.
Yep.
That's all he wanted. He didn't want that rest of everybody there. So he had to play his jokes on us and have a false start and, do his thing. But when the nurse was called and actually got to the house and stuff, they don't technically call the time of death. Even if you've written it down, they don't call it until the hospice nurse gets there. And, so yeah, see, it was helping it on the other
Yeah,
end.
that's what I was sitting here thinking the whole time. Amanda, I love you, but what are you doing? Because you had both problems fixed. Yeah.
I thought it would work.
Well, and you're making it heavier on the end that doesn't work. Yeah. So, I didn't have a chance to get the tool so that we can fix that.
I have the tool. I do. I have the tool. I left it at home.
Oh, I have like a million
know
of
you
them. I
do.
have one upstairs in the cubby. I just forgot to. I keep
I know
forgetting to
you
bring
do.
it down. So anyway,
Yeah.
you think about death. Also, the people when you watch these hospice nurses talk about it, it makes complete sense of how there is no full explanation about spirits. We don't really know because most of the people that know they're already dead, so they can't actually tell us. But when things happen like these hospice nurses talk about, it can't be coincidental that they all have these.
When my
Similar.
stepdad passed away, he passed away on his birthday, and my stepdad was a big
My brother-in-law passed away on his birthday.
big
which is also Mother's Day, by the way.
a celebrator.
sucks.
Like my stepdad wanted to celebrate everything. Like, what's today? What can we celebrate today? Like, so his
Okay.
birthday was a big deal.
Look up the Google. Find out what we can celebrate
like
today.
birthday was a big deal. Well, he was in the nursing home, and we didn't have a party that day. We did go buy him a balloon and tied it to his bed, but we didn't have a party. But we had told the hospice nurse. And that particular night, there was a lot of heat lightning. It was June 3rd. It was hot June. And there was heat lightning in the sky. I had actually stood and watched it a little
What
while.
is heat lightning?
I love
There's no
lightning.
rain in sight at all.
And there's normally not any thunder.
any
either.
thunder or
It's
anything.
just-
The sky there's
lights
just
up.
So
lightning.
just
It just
colorful
lights
lightning.
up.
Okay.
It's so pretty.
It is so pretty.
It's so pretty.
Never heard the term heat
I had
lightning.
stood outside and
It's
watched it
like
a little
really
while.
when it gets like really hot and
Yeah.
it's like kind of muggy out.
Okay.
Yeah. And when the hospice nurse got there, she came back, and she, of course, we had told her it was David's birthday, and she said, as I was watching the heat lightning driving in, I thought that's all of David's friends welcoming him to his party.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And,
We got the balloons, we
and
got
that
the
was
cake.
just that was a warming
Let's go.
something
Yeah.
she didn't have to say. I
Yeah.
think she did think it, but it was so I'll never forget that.
That's the thing is if you can find a way to put it in that perspective of I mean, it thinks about you, and I think everyone, when death happens, we all think of our own mortality, and we all think about what we would want and how we would want to either go or how we would want people to celebrate us, stuff like that.
Mine is in my phone. Mine is in my phone, y'all. If I pass away, it's in my phone.
What you want is there. So, I just recently bought a book that that I'm gonna fill out for one, but it's I'm dead now.
I'm dead. Now
I'm
what?
dead. Now what?
Yeah, I've seen that book.
And I was like, it has all the information that they need, but it also has where you write out things that you would want. I mean, it was like seeing the funny note that Kristen had wrote in her journal. I want to be cremated so I can say one last time I had a smoking hot body.
Yeah.
It's funny. And at the
But it was her
same time, it's a way of saying what somebody wants.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the rules are here, but in Nevada, when Dick passed away, he did not have it anywhere in writing that he wanted to be cremated. So they could not do it without either something that said he wanted it in writing or the immediate family members had to all sign and agree that
Oh, wow.
they wouldn't do it unless there was, like if basically if one family member said no,
Really?
they couldn't do it.
I don't think it's that way here.
Well, here
I don't know.
I will say here in Alabama things seem to be a lot less cumbersome.
Now, I do know, and I think it's been changed because this has been 20 plus years ago. In the state of Tennessee, a person I knew that was cremated, even if you got cremated, the state of Tennessee made you buy a casket.
What?
I think that's been 20 something years. It was so stupid. The family was like, but we, like this, somebody I knew well, they was like, but we don't need a casket. We need an urn.
Yeah.
The state of Tennessee
Right.
at that time required you to buy a casket.
Well, then name the urn casket.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty sure that's probably been
It's
changed.
probably been changed now. Well, there's a lot
And
of stupid laws out there.
There are a lot of people like that, and like that was probably the first person I ever knew that was cremated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's been going on for a long time. That was the first person
I want to be
ever
turned
knew.
into a tree.
Okay.
Do you want for haunted forests? Because that's how we get haunted forests. Just saying.
Yeah, I want to be a tree.
Okay.
I don't know how that is. So
It's only haunted if she comes back as a bad person.
haunted. I don't think haunting is good or bad person,
See, I think of haunting as bad. I think of spirits as good.
but it's still
You want
haunting.
spirit force? Then that's how you get spirit
I'm pretty
force.
sure yesterday. So I'm watching my Hallmark movies as I do. Y'all know I love my Christmas Hallmark movies. Same channel I always watch. I have never, ever in my life seen a Carnival Cruise Line commercial on that. Charlene and I did a vacation together on a cruise. Stayed in the same room all day long, every commercial break. And I was like, okay, I hear you. I hear you.
I'm hearing you, Charlie.
There's another girl that I follow on TikTok. She does sometimes as her real self. She does sometimes as a character, and her character is Charlene. Charlene, the character, was on a cruise ship. I'm like, I hear you. Okay,
I'm going.
I get
hear
it. I
you.
will look it up.
Yeah.
I will find.
No, she knows I don't want to go back on a cruise, especially without her. But yeah, it was just her letting me know, comforting
I'll
me.
go.
maybe she's letting you know she's on a cruise.
Yeah, well, and I said that too. I said she is on her cruise ship. She is, because she loved them. She absolutely loved cruising. It was one of her favorite things in the world.
Okay, so she's on a cruise.
Yeah,
I've never been without my
she was
family, though.
comforting me, and but it was so funny. I was like, okay, I hear you.
Yeah. It's funny. Well, so this was supposed to be about, and you know what? When we sat here and I said, okay, what are we going to talk about? I wanted to talk about this topic, but I didn't want to say I wanted to talk about this topic because you just went through this. I mean, like days ago.
That yesterday. I mean, she passed away yesterday.
Well, yeah, in the middle of the night, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, but I mean, you've been going through this for
2
days
weeks.
ago.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be like, so let's talk about death.
Yeah.
But it is part of the holidays.
It is part of the
And
holidays.
Whether they died in January through December, it doesn't matter
Whether they died
what
in
day they died.
2019. Like I said,
When
we're
it
changing
comes
things.
to Christmas time, that's when you think about those past loved ones that aren't there to celebrate those holidays with you. You know, your grandmother, and everyone's going there.
Yeah.
At some point in time. And, you know, my grandmothers would be in their hundreds now if they were still alive.
Yeah.
So obviously,
Right.
you're going to eventually be
Yeah,
gone.
exactly.
And we're going to join them at some point in time. I just want to make sure that I'm prepped and prepared to, you know, make the jokes.
Yeah.
So that my kids can tell the jokes, that my kids can be
Right.
like, oh my God, when my mom died, she did, you know,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with that.
Yeah.
My notes say, I do not want part of mine. I do not want anyone to wear black.
Right.
I want you to wear a color that you think represented me in life, and I hated the color black.
Right.
That my dad, he did not want everybody to be sad. He wanted everybody to wear Christmas
Perfect.
button
Yeah.
down what are they called? Like
shirts.
Shirt?
No, not no the shirts, but they're like
shirts.
not a dress shirt, but
button
like
down?
a Hawaiian shirt. That's what I
Hawaiian
want.
shirt.
okay.
Okay.
Christmas Hawaiian
Yes,
shirt. That was,
I love it.
You know, that was very colorful, and that's what everybody did.
Yeah.
Everybody dressed colorful. Everybody dressed. I have the whole video of my husband's speech, and it was awesome. Everybody was there and dressed up in, you know, the Hawaiian colorful Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Christmas
that I
themed
think
Hawaiian
I
shirts. There
think
we go.
I think that's awesome.
I think it's I really like when people have more of a celebration of life than the funerals itself. I mean, a funeral can still be a celebration of life depending on how you put it together.
That's what it was.
know.
That's
Yeah.
what, when we went to the shirts, we did the shirts. It was his celebration of life in his.
I like it being called that. I really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I like that
that's-
so much better than now. My dad's was a funeral, with the casket and everything, and all his racing stuff we had put out in the front of the church, and his pallbearers were selected, and every one of his pallbearers I had made a vial of Bonneville salt that they wore on their necks, because that's where my dad broke his first world record, is in Bonneville in 1958. So they all had Bonneville salt, and my dad had Bonneville salt on him. I made him a prettier one. And, you know, so the way we did it was really a very nice celebration. I put a really cool video together, picked some amazing music for his service and stuff. And ironically, I went to the church. Sunday was Easter. So we went to church on Sunday afterwards. And, you know, obviously I'm pretty sad, and it had just happened and everything. We just had his service, and we go into the church, and my husband says, "Do you hear the music?" And I'm like, "No," I wasn't even paying attention. He's like, "They're playing your funeral list."
remind me to ask you something in a second.
Okay.
When we get done, remind me.
Okay.
It has to do with funeral music, but it's off the subject. So anyway, but they were playing your music.
Yeah, they were playing, but they
You better write that down, or you're gonna forget.
they played all.
Very good idea. That's why I
they-
had this paddle,
They
right?
played all the music I had selected for my dad's service at their church service, and I walked up to the pastor and I said, "Wow, thank you for playing." He goes, "Oh, I'm not playing this because of your dad or because of you." He goes, "You selected amazing music, and I really like it, and I'm glad it's helping you, but you picked some really great
Yeah.
Yeah.
music for this, and it's all perfect and fitting. So, go with it." And sometimes when I'm thinking about my dad and I'm missing him or whatever, I'll play that set list, and it makes me feel better because I didn't select songs that are super
Sad and
depressing.
Depressing.
I've selected stuff that it gives you a joyful thought on their life, and
Yeah.
that's where people have to find that way. You guys know I've had a really difficult time. I've had a difficult time with forgiveness and judging other people and their actions, and I have to find a way to forgive them so that I can not hold on to it, not have this chip on my shoulder kind of thing. And but I think there's a lot of people out there that deal with this too, that deal with the loss of somebody that was a negative situation, and how do you make it better? How do you move past it? How do you move forward? I journal through writing songs and writing lyrics or whatever, and journaling itself. But reflection is a great way, talking about them. And I think that's one of the most important things, is remembering them by talking about them. Don't just forget about them.
We did that, Saturday when we were there visiting with Charlene, that, we knew, she was passing away, but some of us went and visited, and I think she needed that because you would see, maybe they were involuntary, but
I don't believe
I don't
that.
believe in that. I don't
Yeah.
believe that. Like I was talking about, our cruise, and Debbie said her leg just moved. You know, like, and it hadn't moved.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Well, like my dad squeezed my hand. You know, and anyone else will tell you it's just their involuntary reactions. But I remember what I was saying when he did that. And it was me saying, I hope you're proud of me.
and he squeezed your hand. Yeah.
That can't be involuntary.
Yeah.
So, and if it is, I'm taking the win.
You know what? I'll take it.
I'm huge on. Yeah, I mean, you know,
Take it.
I thought that a Carnival commercial on TV yesterday was talking to me. You take it.
You take the win when you need the win.
Yeah, yeah, I mean-
exactly. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like when I know Kristen's candle is on a timer, and when it comes on, it immediately makes me say, "Hi, Kristen."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there have been some times that it turned on or turned off at the time that it's not supposed to. So you can't tell me
Nice, throwing things.
that's
Nothing.
I was making sure he didn't see it. Yeah.
what happened.
The eraser is shaped like a bone, as
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
And I just dropped mine on the floor, so I was like watching to make sure Cash did not attack the bone. So.
Yeah, don't eat that bone.
Don't eat that.
But it does can put a damper on a decorating or a preparation or whatever, because sometimes it's hard to get past certain things. So
I had a hard time with my memory tree this year. And the reason I had a hard time with my memory tree is I knew this was happening with Charlene. I knew how
Right.
sick she was.
right.
And
And this would have been the first year not to
this
put
would have been
somebody
my
on the
first
tree.
year. Yeah. All of my deaths on my memory tree are people that have happened since 2018. And this
'Cause that's
year,
when you started the tree.
this year would have been my first year that I did not have to get a new ornament. No, I didn't start it until this is my third year with it.
Okay.
But when I started it, I went back to 2018.
Okay.
That was kind of when I started my selfie fest that I had pictures with me and all the people.
Right.
So I could easily do that, you know, like with that. But I think hers is the reason I had a hard time, you know, that I just didn't even
Right.
want to put it up. And yesterday I put a framed picture of me and her on the tree because obviously I don't know, Tori might could help me out and get me an ornament, but I think I'm just going to leave, like for hers, I think that picture, that framed picture
Yeah, I saw
is,
that.
is
I think that's a
supposed to
good
be.
one.
So I think that's going to be part of it, which that picture's always drove me crazy because I noticed a man standing behind us at one time. It's when we're leaving the cruise ship and standing
Oh,
there.
is
They
that-
take the pictures. So yeah. Amanda, you're being called out.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, we
Share with the group or get off the phone.
yeah.
No, I was trying to. Sorry, I was answering
But
messages. Sorry.
Well, do they not know you're on a show at the
No.
time?
me
No.
and her both have that picture too. It's somewhere in her house too.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
So,
That's
yeah.
Oh,
cute.
I like
I bought
that.
that for both of us, and then I sent y'all. Did y'all see the one of all of us girls with our shoes in our hand?
Yep. I love that picture.
Yeah,
I love that
Yeah, 'cause
picture.
it's formal night, and you've been running around, and you got heels on, and all of it. We were all complaining about our feet were hurting.
Take shoes off.
So we took
Shoes
our
off,
we took our
girl.
shoes off and threw them over our shoulder and took a picture.
Well,
Yeah.
my the high heeled shoes with Girl Talks picture. That is Kristen and I sitting on the couch out in here, and we wanted to take these cute pictures with the shoes. So I had purple shoes and I had stiletto bright pink shoes, which ironically were hers that she had given to me a while back. Well, neither one of us can really walk in those shoes anymore. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous. So we decided to just do a photo shoot with the shoes, and we put them on and sat on the couch and took pictures from that angle.
Yeah.
And we loved them. They were the cutest pictures. And then,
No, my.
yeah, yeah, I know.
yeah. That's also in my when I die. I want to be buried in high heels because I couldn't wear them in life.
Right, exactly. Well, so it was funny. You know how people do the reenacting photos of the past, like when you had your kids and stuff. Kristen,
So many that I want my kids to do.
Kristen and I had this really cool picture. It was in 2010, but she was here visiting in February, and she was like, "We should do that picture." Because I pulled it up and showed it to her, and she's like, "Oh, we should do that picture." So I went and found her a bright pink tank top because that's what she was wearing, and I came out and I had the exact shirt that I was wearing in that 2000. And she's like, "You still have that shirt?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
Sure do.
So put it on, and we like did
yeah.
did a little bit of a reenactment. And then I put the two together, and I'm like, so it was pretty funny.
I actually this past week was digging for me some pajamas, and my present last year from Charlene was this cute little gown she had made, and it says Greta and Cash, and it's like on it, and it's me and Cash in the bed. And I was like, never wearing that one again. We're going to tuck that one and put it on the bottom,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, she, like I said, she never missed a Christmas. I got a Christmas present from her every single year. And in all honesty, she probably bought a whole bunch on Black Friday. And Glenn's not going to know what to do with all that when it comes in.
Right.
It's all going to show up, and he's going to be like,
I don't know who this is for.
I don't know what this
I don't
is.
know what this one would be for.
You may want to help him with that.
and
his daughter will.
Yeah. when you get to
Me and him were not that. He was good to me, but we weren't that close.
in my bedroom, we have a bookcase that has stuff on it. Well, the very top of the bookcase kind of has a shelf. So that's where we have family pictures, and we call it like our little memorial area. Steve's dad and my grandparents and stuff like that. And his uncle, it was a photographer, a professional photographer, great photographer. So his one of his pictures is hanging right above that. And then there's a sign or something that says something about family and whatnot. And every now and then we walk in there and all the pictures are crooked. And I'm like, "Uncle Ray, are you turning the pictures again?
I'm
are
going
you
to need
messing
you to
with it?"
stop doing that.
Yeah, could
but
you
thanks.
stop turning? And I'm sure it's from shutting the door, because the door is right next to it. It shimmies the wall, whatever.
I dated a guy. He's from here, but he worked on a ranch in South Louisiana, which is, of course, very haunted. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of them worked down there. The lady, her name was Adelaide, and I always loved her name. But she would tell these cowboys when they showed up, she was like, "This house is haunted. Things are going to happen.
Shit goes missing.
I'm just going to warn you. If
Don't
you
freak
question,
out."
if you questioned if it happened or not, go back into." She said, "Go into the parlor," because it was a really old house. She said, "And that picture above the mantle of my great grandfather will be crooked if it happened." Marty said it was crooked every time, and he said people would come in and they would doubt it, and sure enough, that ghost would mess with them.
Yeah.
Always.
well,
But I love to hear his stories about that, but the picture was always crooked.
Yeah. Well, I think there is something to people who are gone doing things to send us messages.
155%. It is a very thin veil.
My grandma's been passed for a few years now. Not the one that, the other one. The other one. My dad's mom, not my mom's mom. My dad's mom has been passed for a few years now, and I still have dreams about her yelling at me about things, and I'm like,
she's visiting you.
right? She's telling me stuff, and I'm like, well, what? Why are you mad at me? Like, what did I do? And it's something that I have maybe forgotten to do or done wrong or something, and I
That's
go
funny
change
because
it.
usually it is more peaceful.
Yeah, not done wrong. Just like if I put like something together wrong, or if I've made a dish wrong or something, and she's like,
You forgot to put this ingredient
"Yeah,
in
there."
it.
That's
You want to know
funny.
why it tasted funny? Because you forgot this,
That's funny.
or you added this,
Yeah.
or
My
talking
mother-
about organizing, and she was never. An
My
organizer.
mother
She was
is
back
not
up.
a believer of that, or never really has been. And she looked at me in the last 2 weeks and she said, "Mama visited me last night in my dreams." And like I said, Mother mother rolls her eyes when I say that usually. And I was like, really? And she said, yeah.
Her mom.
Her mom. And she said, it was so real. And I said, yeah, because it was, like, yeah.
There's another one I have of her that I'm with the family and I'm arguing with them that she has passed. But she's there. We're having like Sunday dinner. And it was like, she's right there. What are you talking about? She's died. I'm like, no, she died. I don't know what. We were all at her funeral. We were there. I know she's right there, but. And they're like arguing with me about. I've had this dream so many times, and I don't know what that one's all about.
We might need to go see a medium about that one.
I know, because I'm like, I will argue with them in my dream, and I'm like, no, but we were all. Because me and my brother,
you guys were there.
You were there, right? Me and my brother, we traveled together from Colorado. I remember, and we went, and she passed, and I was. All the little girls that were there, I was braiding everybody's hair at the funeral because that's what I do apparently.
There's something that happened at her funeral that she is not happy about, and she wants you to tell them.
Something happened. Yeah. And you know what part of it is when they were splitting up her stuff after my gramps died. Because my cousins and their kids got greedy and janky and shady. And my Baba, that's what we called her, Baba, since she was like 75, this is going to be my last Christmas. Just decide what you want. So, after a few years I played along. I was like, well, I want that. I want that. I want that. I want that. And I got it all after her and him passed. But for, 20 years it was, I want that. I want that. I want that.
Yeah.
But, yes, there's something happened at some point that
she's got a message for you. Yeah.
What is with people getting greedy at when people die?
It's so stupid.
It happens
it's
every
disgusting.
time.
It is.
Well,
and the only reason I told her what I wanted is because she was like, you need to tell me what you want, or it's going. I was like, fine. You want me to tell you? I want that, and that.
I have a me and when my grandmother passed away, Charlene lived next door to my grandmother, and I spent a lot of time at Charlene's house. I was single. I wasn't dealing with life well, and Charlene was my comfort, whatever. And she said, and Mama Day had passed away, and Charlene was like, I got a key. Do you want to go over there? And I was like, I don't know if there's anything I want. And she was like, well, go see. Because your family, she said, some of your family, they're going to take what they want. Let's go get what we want.
Yeah.
I have my grandmother's rolling pin. Nobody's ever asked where her rolling pin went, but that was the only thing I took.
Right.
But
super funny. The one thing I took from my grandmother was her biscuit cutter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think her rolling pin as well. But
yeah,
every one of the grandkids was like, where's grandma's, because we were all there together. Mm-hmm. And my dad's like, take something that will mean something to you. Mm-hmm. And I was the first one that grabbed it. I still have it. It's got a little red handle.
Without anybody knowing, but nobody looked for it.
And a spatula.
The rolling pin.
And the spatula can never be used. Like, I need to put a little hook and hang it on the wall because it's so rusted out now.
Yeah.
Like, it would be bad to use it for food. But all the grandkids are like, where's her biscuit? Because my grandmother made amazing biscuits. Yeah. And she didn't make biscuits and gravy because we weren't Southern. She made biscuits with homemade jams and jellies. Mm-hmm. And so we'd butter them and put our favorite jams and jellies on it. And she made amazing biscuits. And I have her biscuit cutter. And everyone was like, where's Grandma's biscuit cutter? I'm like, I already took that one. It's right here. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, everybody wanted her biscuit cutter because she made amazing biscuits.
Mm-hmm. And I want to go back to the things that we wanted. The things I wanted from her were things I couldn't have. I wanted the carpet from her living room. It was this ugly, gross looking, it was blue and green.
Okay, so why did you want that?
I'll tell you. But no, it's ugly.
Because I'm weird.
No, because it was this blue and green shag.
Because she killed someone there, and
you know what? I need my evidence.
She wants her evidence back.
I wanted the pantry and the kitchen. I wanted.
That's where your memories were.
Exactly, because I grew up Navy. I was a Navy brat, so we moved around, and her house was the only constant I ever had.
Right.
So her house was my home.
Yeah,
her backyard. She had a pool in her backyard.
Just out of curiosity, did you cut a piece of that carpet?
I did not.
You should have.
You should have.
You should have just cut a little
I should
tiny
have.
square of that, because
They had renovated before she passed, so I should have taken it after they ripped it out.
right,
But-
when they pulled
And
it out.
it was, it was my only constant. There was this horrible, dilapidated shed that my gramps still used down in the back corner. And I don't know if you guys ever heard of the scary movie Mr. Boogedy,
Yeah.
right? So that was Boogedy's house, and we would all go down there. My uncles would go down and like make creepy noises and scare us. We come screaming back up the hill. We spent every summer there. We did Christmas there as often as we could, being moving around so much. But it was my only constant.
That's how I felt with my grandmother's
Her
house.
stinky. It wasn't even that stinky, but it was kind of like a musty basement, and they didn't have carpet down the basement. It was AstroTurf, and I wanted that AstroTurf. I wanted the brick from her fireplace downstairs that nobody ever used. I wanted the paneling off the side of her stairs that was so creepy that you couldn't go down in the dark because it was scary as hell. But there was the things. Those are the things that I wanted. I wanted to buy the house.
Yeah.
Right.
I really did, but
Right.
I couldn't at that point. We were still active. We were still moving.
Kristen asked me that when
It was
we
a
were
very-
in Tahoe in May, and we
That
drove
house
by
meant a lot to me.
we drove by my dad's house. Ironically, Kristen got out of the car. I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm not going to get out. Somebody else owns it now. I can't just go traipse." And I've already done that, and traipsed all over the place and took photos. So I can't just do that. And again,
I mean, I have strong feelings about going there and like knocking on the door and be like, Can I just
can I just see it?
Can I just walk in the backyard?
Miranda Lambert has a song, "The House That Built Me."
Yeah, the house that built me.
I just want to walk in the backyard. Can I just walk in the backyard? Like, I'm not going to talk to anybody. I won't touch anything. I just wanna
In
walk
her
the
song,
backyard.
she was like, "My dog is buried there," and
Yeah, exactly.
It's a beautiful song.
Well,
You would relate to that song.
Yeah.
Kristen peed on his bush, and I didn't even know
Send
I
it
was.
to me later.
I didn't know I was taking pictures of it, but apparently I was taking pictures of her squatting, and I was like, just the other day I saw him. I said, I didn't remember her peeing at my dad's house, but okay, I have a picture of her peeing at my dad's house. But,
That's a fun memory.
Yeah, it's funny now.
Yeah.
But it's like
I've never told anybody about me and Charlene going into Mama Day's house ever
the
Till now.
till now.
till now. Well, there's things that happen that you don't really anticipate, and seeing the places like that, if you ever did go by that house, and see that house. So Kristen had asked me, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "Well, sure, but I'm not ever going to buy it,"
Yeah.
and. It's totally different now. It's been remodeled.
That's my Baba's house, yeah.
It's not going to have the same memories because it's all different now.
I was hoping that like all the grandkids would kind of like pitch in. I didn't bring it up to them, and I'm sure they would have if I had brought it up to them.
If somebody had brought it up,
Right.
maybe somebody would have
Right.
said,
We
"Let's
could have
all
just
do this."
All pitch in. We all own it.
And
We could use it as like a vacation house or
something,
a Christmas house or
yeah,
something
like that.
So,
Well,
but yeah.
So we went when we were in Wisconsin. Not this last time, but the first time when we went there for his Steve's uncle's birthday celebration. We went to. He was just driving around and he showed me where he grew up, his house that he grew up in, and the lady
We
that
just did that with Steve.
that owns the house was outside, and so we're like on the side of the road, stop for a second. I said, "Just go in there, in the driveway." So he's like, "Oh," and
So weird.
my husband's not that guy
Neither is mine.
at all.
It's so weird.
So we pull in, and I roll the window down. And I said, "I am so sorry. I just didn't want to be outside lurking and you being like, who are these weird people lurking?" I said, "My husband grew up here. This was his house."
and we're just
And we're just looking at
looking
it.
and remembering.
And she's like, "Do you want to get out and see?" And
yeah, some people will do that for you.
and I'm like, "Yeah." And Steve, of course, is like, "No, thank you, goodbye." and I,
We're like, yes, we
and
do.
I said, "Yes, we do." And
Thank you so
I
much.
said,
You're
"Thank
very
you so
kind."
much." And so we got out, and she showed us the changes that they had made, but all the things that were still the same. Like the window, there was a really cool window in the kitchen that was still there. And it was a really, just the way the kitchen was, it was a really cool window, and it was still there. And Steve's telling him where something was. And then there's other things that are still the same. And they had a tennis court on their property that they had put in. And, the family owned the ready mix plant. So when they poured, it was like a ton of continuous trucks coming in to pour to do the tennis court. And it's no longer a tennis court. They built a pole barn over it, but they used it as the slab for the pole barn. And they were like, it was absolutely perfect for that. And they talked about the horses they had, and they talked, and they walked him through the whole thing. He even took him upstairs.
Yeah.
And I did not go up the stairs, but I took some pictures, and it was a really cool moment for Steve to see his childhood home.
Yeah.
And they were the people who bought it from his parents.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
That's cool.
so like they've had it for the last 29 years.
Yeah.
So it hasn't changed hands a second or third
Right.
time.
Yeah.
It's the original people that bought
Right.
it from them. So him seeing the changes that they made, and then them talking about, there's a garage in the back that was like one of those barn door garages, old garage.
Yeah.
And it's still there underneath of a new cover. So they
Yeah.
went back there, and it's where they keep the hay and everything.
Yeah.
And the doors aren't there anymore. It's a roll down door, but they were able to talk about what was there. And he's like, well, we took that out when we did this because, and Steve's like, did you know though, this garage was the other way around? Like when we got it, when we were here, the garage, the sliding doors were on that end, and we literally jacked the whole thing up and
turned
it around so that it was near, coming towards the driveway.
Yeah.
So I mean, like it was really cool
Yeah,
to
that
see
is
those
cool.
reminiscing things. I've been back to my childhood home, drove by it several times when I was younger, but my
don't have
childhood
one of
home
those.
burnt down. So there's nothing, it's a totally different house now. Like when they rebuilt everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
But my boulders that my dad had put in with a crane were still in the specific spots. We used to play cops and robbers and cowboys and Indians and stuff. And the way my dad placed those, it gave me just a little tiny hidey hole in between the three boulders. I could hide down in between them and pop out and shoot everybody. And it's that's one of those fun things where you can go back and reminisce on things that bring you
Yeah.
that joy that you have in a memory, So even though my house is gone, although it had a really, really cool fireplace that was custom built, I guess, when they built the original house. And the new owners literally made them build the new house around the fireplace.
Nice.
They were like, you keep the fireplace because it was the only thing
When a
left.
house burns, typically the fireplace does not.
Right. It was
it's-
the only
it's
thing left
built
standing.
for fire.
And it was just so cool the way it was done that they really wanted it. I missed the 5-minute mark. I wrote it out ahead of time.
I saw you read it.
Like,
Yeah.
but it was 7 minutes. So, I wanted to wait the 2 minutes to do the 5 minutes, and now it's 0 minutes.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our show about decorating and shopping.
And death.
And death.
And death. There's a lot of death.
We meant more death.
Yeah.
we mean decorating, and we sprinkle in a little death.
A little bit.
Well, that keeps us to circle it all back around. The death can keep us from the decorating. It can keep us from the shopping. If we are struggling, if it's just happened, that's usually where your depression comes in.
You have to
and that's
find a
where-
way out of that hole,
move.
out of that darkness, and out of that thing that is holding you back from the joy.
Yeah.
Because to circle back around, Charlene even, she would not want to take that joy from you.
No.
She would want the people. My dad would want the people. Kristen would want, and this will be my first Christmas never not talking to her. So, you know, you have to put that in its perspective. Don't not talk to her. Just talk to her.
Talk to her.
You know, just
The veil
I
is
talk
thin.
to my dad all the
The
time.
veil is thin.
My ear will do that ringing thing, and I'm like, what? What? I didn't do it. What?
yeah,
I hope mine doesn't get louder. I haven't even thought about that.
yeah, right.
Yeah, all right, I'm getting up. I know the laundry is done. I'll go get it. Calm down. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, yeah.
I got it.
So, just take a piece of them with you, and when you're decorating, if that's what you need to talk to them while you're doing it, say, "Well, do you like this here or there?" You know, and
I did
you'll
talk
get
to
a
her
feeling.
yesterday when I put that picture on my tree. I was like, look at you. Bigger ornament than anybody on the tree. How you like that? You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, You got the biggest one.
You
All
got
right.
the biggest one.
Spoiled.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do things like that. And because of that, you know, I do have a tree that it's the skinny tree right when you walk in the house. I haven't decorated it yet, but it kind of became that way last year. It was a different skinny tree, but I got a skinnier one. But that's where I put my dad's angel wings and Steve's dad angel wings. And now I have to make a pair for Kristen. And I think I'm going to turn that into my memorial tree because it kind of already is. Because when I hung theirs, they have angel wings that have white feathers. So I ended up going out and buying all white ornaments. So everything that goes on that tree is white. So I think I'm going to turn that into our memorial tree because, I mean, it kind of already was without calling it that. Now I can call it that. But I never thought about that till you showed me yours. And I was like, that's a great way to honor people that have passed
Honor
away
them
and that
during
are
the
gone
holidays.
Yeah.
during the holidays so that they are still a part of you. They are there.
Yeah.
And they have their own damn tree.
Yeah, I don't like, my grandparents, them passing away and stuff. And that was before we had cell phones. We had all the pictures. I don't have great pictures. I've got pictures, but when you
That's my
reproduce
Baba, yeah.
them, you don't. So I've always kind of, and I still haven't found what I want to put on there for them, but I want to put something there for them. And I just haven't found. Now I do have my grandmother's doll that I tried sitting underneath it, and someone over there, four-legged, thinks
takes
it's a
it.
toy. Yeah. So I don't do that, but I want to find something for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is definitely what I think is going to happen with ours.
Yeah.
So you can keep them as a part of you, but not have them hurting you too much that you can't handle.
Make it something like I wanted it to be something beautiful. Exactly. A light, so to say. It's a lit up tree. So
I think that's why,
Yeah.
I think the fact that I went and made everything white on the tree, kind
Make it bright and lively. And
I've always loved a tinsel tree, and I've always wanted a tinsel tree. Mine is silver.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a tinsel tree. So that's why I went with the silver. I wanted the skinny tree because I was limited on space, but that's why I went with the silver. But then I like the silver with the white.
Oh, it works so good with it.
Because I've got the white feathers and the white, and then just a little pop of gold to stand out is how it's done. So.
Well, I think it's a great way to do that. And, I have my brother and wife and my sister-in-law, Ida, and the kids will be here on Wednesday. So I'm like, I have till Wednesday to have everything done, at least that I can do. And if there's a few things that we need to do when Steve gets back, then we'll do it when Steve gets back. But
I think, wait, what is Wednesday? Is that the 19th?
18th.
18th? I think my mom's coming back in on the 19th.
On the 19th? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're 6 minutes past our time.
We are.
So,
We're out.
but that's okay. You know, it's okay. We went a little bit over, but we're talking about good things and making the joyous occasion, even though sadness can be a part of that joyous occasion.
Finding the joy.
Finding the joy
finding
in the
joy.
sadness, yeah.
Finding the joy, and it is there. You sometimes have to look beyond yourself and what's keeping you back. And what helped me was talking to you girls and, giving me your thoughts, because honestly, most of what you guys said is what I would say to someone else, but yet I'm the one holding on to it.
Yeah, right. right.
So I'm
and that's
like,
hard when you're the one holding on, and you're always the one that's given the advice, but then you're the one that's like, well, what do I say? What do I do?
yeah, how do I
handle this?
how do I talk the talk and walk the walk?
Yeah.
Because
That is very difficult.
so many people come to me for advice and I'm very good at it, but then after the fact I'm like, okay, you need to live it too. You can't just tell
you can't
people
just-
or talk to people and help them through it
Yep.
and then turn around and throw it all in the trash can for
Yep.
yourself.
Yeah.
Self-reflection is a big
It's a
part
big
of that.
deal,
It
yeah.
is, because
Yeah, like you said, if you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk, that's exactly what you need to do.
well, and that's our theme on our show is we walk the walk and we talk the talk.
Even if that talk is a hot mess and squirrel.
Even if
and-
that talk is
We have not squirreled
bull
much
talk.
today, other than
No, we
like-
didn't.
Other than the
I mean,
topic
we
itself,
initially
but-
squirreled, but we stayed really on topic.
But we linked the topic.
But we
so-
linked the topic. But that's a big part of it, though.
Yes.
And it's a big part of, quite often, I hate to say it, but quite often it's that taboo subject at Christmas, because it's like, well, we don't want to talk about it because it makes it real. It makes it a part of it. Well, maybe if you talk through it, you can let it go in its place.
Yeah.
If you talk about what's bothering you and how that is affecting you, how that is hurting you, it's hurting your progress. Maybe
even
that
if
is
you're-
a good thing.
Even if you're all by yourself or alone, talk out loud.
Right.
Out loud will help you. Don't do it in your head
or write it.
or write it down because that will help you.
Writing it down reveals so much to you that you just
But pretending it's not happening
That's very harmful.
is what makes it so much worse. It's
Holding it in. Holding
it's
it
like
in.
it's like a wound that you don't tend to. It festers and it gets worse and it gets worse. So putting that face on and that I'm fine when you're not fine, it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to let it out that you are fine.
yeah.
Here's my boy mom expertise here. It's like a fart.
Yeah.
If you keep it in, you will explode.
Yeah. Yeah.
You will explode, and it's gonna be bad.
Well, and most of the time, if you hold it in, the longer you hold it in,
The worse.
the worse it stinks, the louder
so
it is,
bad.
and the worse it makes everyone else around you feel.
Boy mom here knows the difference. Just do it. Just let it out because it won't be as bad.
Yeah, just let it go. And that can be the same with your grief and your sadness and all those things that have to do with the holidays. And, just talk it out. Talk it out with yourself. Talk it out with your friends. Talk it out with a family
Anybody.
member. Talk it
Yes.
out with whoever you need to talk it out
Yes.
to.
I've told people many
I
times.
think Charlene is here.
Is that her?
You
It's
got
her
a
curly hair.
big old long curly hair.
Yes, it's her curly hair. And it's all over me.
It's not me.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's about the length and color of hers.
I've told people several
And
times.
she
I said,
hated
you
her
know,
curly hair.
The
Hated.
curly hair girls want the straight hair. The straight hair girls want curly hair. It is a.
I just
it's
want
a
pretty
battle.
hair.
And it's all over me.
I don't care if it's straight or curly. I just want it pretty. All right, we are now 11 minutes over our time.
We have
We
to
usually
go.
only go 10 minutes over, but we're 11 minutes over our time. So happy holidays. Finish up your last minute preparations and shopping. And if you are struggling with the loss of somebody or struggling with your decorating or shopping, just bring
It's
them
okay.
along. Bring them along.
But it's okay.
Bring
It's
them
okay.
along.
Yes, bring your family, bring your people. Tell people. They are more understanding than you think they are.
Yeah, and the minute you stop, because I was holding it in. I was absolutely holding it back, and I wasn't saying anything until once I said something. I felt so much better, and I finally got motivated to actually start decorating and really getting it going.
Yes.
So that's a big part of it. Yeah, it certainly is. Well, peace to everyone. We love you, Greta. So sorry for your loss and your family and your friends that are all going through this right now with you, and know that we are all here with you and we're here for you.
And we hope Alicia feels better.
Yes.
And Alicia, we love you. We want you to feel better.
Cash misses you terribly.
Like, it's insane. He is over here. He's pouted half the show.
I do have to show that.
Yes, you have to show. Bring it around.
Show that. I don't know what camera I'm on here. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm not on the right one now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta get higher. Maybe.
He's pitiful.
Know.
He has pouted that she is not here to love on him. Like, he loves.
Hit the right buttons.
He gets the best pets from Alicia.
No, I am.
Are you on the right?
We have. I'm so confused because we changed the thing. So that is 3, not 2, like I had them, but it wasn't working. But somebody's messing with our stuff. Is what
Charlene.
Charlene and Kristen are changing the look at that dog.
I was trying to peel off.
He's so pathetic,
did.
Alicia. Look at him.
Yeah, look how sad he is.
Look at how sad
he has been sitting here all sad.
He was rambunctious when he first came in, but the place he calmed down and sat down was in Alicia's seat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Cashman is really missing you, Alicia. I should have just turned that camera on him the whole time because,
right.
Someone else was busy on her phone and doing other things. So
Tired.
then they could have just been looking at Cash the whole time. See, and you can see now that it's on Cash, you can do the sticking her tongue out at me and everything.
Hold on. You can't see me?
Nope. And now I got the bird. Like, I can describe what you're doing over there.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, we gotta go. We're 15 minutes over.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
All right. See y'all later.
Okay, bye.
Peace out.